Chapter 8. Birds, Our Winged Friends. Do you see the birds flying in the sky? They are animals whose front legs have been modified into wings. These wings help them to fly. They have hollow bones and are covered with feathers. Have you seen the beaks of the different birds? They have different types of beaks that depend on the type of food they consume. Birds live in nests where they lay their eggs. Do you know that birds can travel long distances to live in favorable weather conditions? Let us learn about our winged friends in detail in this chapter. Let's read how is it explained in our book. We can find birds all around us, in the sky, in trees, in backyards or on windowsills. A bird is an animal whose front legs have been modified into wings that help them fly. It has light hollow bones and is covered with feathers. This makes it easy for the bird to fly. A bird has 2 legs and feet. It has 4 toes in each foot. Each foot has long nails called claws that hold the branch when the bird perches. Birds like to perch on trees that provide them food. They build nests to lay eggs and keep them safe. Nests keep the eggs warm till they hatch. Birds look after their young ones by feeding them and teaching them to fly. Different birds. The parrot has green feathers and a covered red beak. It can be taught to copy what we say. The sparrow is a small, speckled brown bird that we see around our homes. It has dark brown claws and a chirpy call. The crow has black or dark gray feathers and a black beak. It caws loudly to warn its companions of danger. The pigeon has gray, black or brown feathers and pink claws. Pigeons gather in groups on our window sills or balconies. The peacock has green and blue feathers. It has a fan-shaped crest on the head. When it rains, the male peacock dances displaying its unusually beautiful feathers. The duck is a white or brown water bird. It has webbed feet for swimming. The kite has a hooked beak and eats small animals. It flies high in the sky, and when it sees some food, it dives down to grab it. Birds and their beaks. The shape of a bird's beak depends on what it eats. Birds eat a lot of food because they need energy to fly and to keep their bodies warm. Birds eat grain, fruit, seeds, worms, eggs, and insects. Some birds eat small animals. Water birds eat fish. The parrot's curved beak helps it to eat seeds, nuts, and fruits. The sparrow and pigeon have short, pointed beaks to break and crush seeds. Birds, like the eagle and hawk, hunt and eat small animals like rats and moles. They have strong, sharp, hooked beaks to help them tear the meat. Woodpeckers have long, pointed beaks to make holes in tree trunks. They search and catch insects hiding inside the holes. Water birds such as pelicans have long scissor-like beaks with which they can pick up small fish. Ducks have broad, flat beaks with holes in them. They dive underwater to find their food, but they also take in a lot of rubbish along with the food. Their beaks function like sieves that separate the food from the rubbish. The water flows out from the holes. The hummingbird has a long, thick beak. The hummingbird has a long, thin beak that can reach deep inside a flower to sip nectar. Nesting. We read that birds build nests. In India, nests are usually built in February and March during the spring season. Birds use materials such as twigs, twine, wool, cotton, and dry grass to build nest. You spot a sparrow or a robin's net in a hedge. Some birds build nests inside houses. Pigeons may build nests even on fans that are not in use. Peacocks build nests amidst tall grass on the ground. The lazy cuckoo does not bother to build its own nest, but lays its egg in a crow's nest. The weaver bird and the tailor bird make beautiful nest. The weaver bird's nest has rooms and the entry is from the bottom. The tailor bird uses its long thin beak to stitch leaves together with dry grass, wool, or thread from a spider's web to make its nest. Penguins build nest on the ground. They use pebbles as nothing else is found in the cold regions. Where they live, eagles and vulture make crude nest of twigs. Feathers. Feathers keep the birds warm and help them to fly. They are made of keratin, which is also found in human hair and nails. Feathers are strong and light. To care for its feathers, a bird has an oil gland just above the base of its tail. Using its beak, the bird brushes oil all over its feathers in a process called preening. This keeps the feathers dry even in rain or in water. Most birds have brightly colored feathers. There are 3 types of feathers. Body feathers cover the complete body and give a curved shape to the bird. Down feathers cover the body. They are small and fluffy. They help the bird to keep warm. Flight feathers are attached to the wings. They are flat and long. They help the birds to fly. Tail feathers help the bird to change direction while flying. Some birds, like the ostrich, cannot fly because of their body weight. The hen can fly only short distances. Migration. When the weather is too cold in some parts of the world, birds from those parts fly to warmer places. Sometimes they fly thousands of kilometers to reach the warm countries. Usually, they fly in large groups. They stay for the cold months and then fly back when the weather changes. This is called migration, and these birds are called migratory birds. The Arctic tern lies all the way from the Arctic North Polar region during the winter months to the Antarctic South Polar region, where it is warm, to lay eggs. Similarly, the flamingos and cranes from Siberia come to India to breed and escape the cold winter. Now children, let us revise what we learned in this chapter. Time to revise. A bird is an animal whose front legs have been modified into wings. Different birds have different kinds of beaks. Birds build nests to lay eggs and keep them safe. Feathers keep the birds warm and help them to fly. Birds migrate from one place to another to save themselves from cold.